I know I said I couldn't sew, but that's because I didn't have any more white thread, but I do have a lot of other thread. So I was able to make this prototype of a bag that I've had in my head for a couple of months. I saw it come around on my Pinterest one day and I was like, oh my God, that would be such a great idea for farmers markets because they sell flowers at farmers markets. That would be such a great idea to make a bag that you can carry them in. This is it. This is obviously the prototype. I would do a lot of things differently. I just wasn't thinking fully like ahead. So this is all serged. And this right here is actually folded so that it's, you know, technically seamless. This is sewn on top of it. That's why you have 2 stitch lines in some places. Somehow I was able to get that perfect, like, or almost perfect essentially, but I was like, wow. And obviously it wouldn't look like that. So what I would do is take this, put this underneath here, and then just sew it once. But this was just for the prototype. I was gonna put like a split down the middle here, but I think honestly that would be too, like, it would make the pouches like a little too small. So I'm gonna go over to my parents' house and they have some fake flowers over there. I'm gonna put them in this bouquet thing to see if it actually works, because again, this is my prototype, so I don't know if this will work, like if this needs to be bigger or the straps need to be longer or this strap needs to be longer. I don't know. Hello, editing me. I realized that I never talked about the flower bag beyond this point, so just to give a little update, I'm redoing my prototype because the pouch ended up not being long enough for the fake flowers or a real bouquet of flowers. So I need to tweak that, and then I need to tweak the length of the straps too, and just obviously do some different sewing stuff on it. So my prototype was good, it just needs some tweaks to it. Hello and good morning. It's currently Wednesday morning and I am about to start pouring some tester candles to test out the scent, see if I like them. I'm gonna pour them in like little jars, which I'll show you in a second. So I've just stamped these because I want to get better at stamping, and if you can see here, this is bad because I literally stamped it on the part where the grout is, so it didn't have like even pressure, so found that out. Also, like where to stamp. These are obviously just like little prototype candles for scents, but all my scents today are coming from Candle Science. I did a previous video that I never uploaded that I smelled a majority of these. So some of them are like their new scents, like Spun Cotton or Golden Moon Milk, but obviously some of them are older scents like Black Sea or Honeysuckle Jasmine. So we're gonna test them out. I smelled them. This one is my favorite out of all of them. I love this one. Some of these in here I did not like, actually, like Spun Cotton. I just need to test it in wax because if it smells different, then maybe I would actually like it, but I just gotta see. Here's the glass containers that I'll be using. I think they're like 4-ounce containers, so that means like 2.5 ounces of wax. I think that's correct, but here they are, super cute. They fit my regular lids on them, even though I'm not gonna be putting lids on these. But I'm gonna label all of these, and like down here in like the open space, like underneath the Lucky Star, I'm gonna put which fragrance I'm gonna be putting, and then put them on the candle. So I thought I'd show you like my spreadsheet essentially. So I have everything labeled inside of this spreadsheet, like all of the items that I need. And then I just go through, and every single time I do a batch like this, I just take off what I did. So like I had 24 of these little jars, right? I used 9 of them, so now 15. And then I put the date and the time that I last counted it. And then normally I put a description here. This I will do like prototype candle, prototype. And then I will put that in clips as well because I've used clips. So it's now not 104. I now have -9, So now there are 95, and then I take this same thing, I've already copy and pasted it there, but then I'll copy and paste it in this new area. And I don't need anything else. These labels that I have on here, I bought for a separate thing, so I don't even have them in here at all. And I don't use the full wick, I use the trimmings of wicks to do these small candles because they fit. The only things that I use are these sticky tabs, which I don't keep track of. I just literally put on there wick stickers. They're good. like this looks good. I don't need to buy any more. And so the only thing I end up using are the jars and these. I don't put warning labels on them because I'm not selling them. And I don't, put regular, I don't put lids on them either because, again, I'm not selling them. They're just for me. So I just wanted to show that because I think that this is an important side of business that not a lot of people show, just because this is the absolute nitty-gritty. And even though I'm running a really small operation, it's really, really important to know how much of things that I have, especially I can go over and look at the fragrance oil and no, I have 0 of the Holland & Spring or no more Kaimea Highwear. I can go over there and look at that, but things like these labels here, I don't want to sit down every single time and count how many of them I have. So I can just go in here and go, okay, this is how many, I need to order these, I need to order that. You know what I mean? And that also goes into play, okay, this is how many I can make, and this is how many I need to order, especially for the next time, or after I make these, this is how many more labels I need to order. Same thing with wicks and wick clips and warning stick, all of this stuff. I go through and I mark it on here because it's so important to not run out, especially if you get into a tight pinch. You need to make something and then you're like, oh my God, now I have to wait 2 weeks for all of this stuff to come in. But the order is due before then, or I need to get this done before then. So it's good to be able to look at the numbers and know that at a certain point you're like, okay, I need to order more because that's too low for what the operation that I'm running. It's also good to know because then you can know where you need to actually spend your money instead of spending money on things that don't benefit your business as much as the actual supplies of your products do. So if that makes any sense, instead of buying frivolous things, buying different type of stickers or buying, stamps, how I stamped all those labels, right? Buying something like that. I need to buy jars. So I need to focus my attention on buying jars and not buying frivolous things that I don't actually need, but that help the brand image. Because especially in the beginning, in my opinion, it is so important to just get the ball rolling and to get stuff done and to have supplies to be able to make your things, and then you can really figure out how your brand looks. I come from a fashion background, like I say a bazillion times, probably even in this video, so looks are everything, and I think that's what got me caught up in everything the most when I first started, just because I was so caught up in how everything looked. Because I come from a background that is the most important thing. Obviously, I know just in general in human nature, people will judge things by how they look, okay? But when it comes to a product like candles, that's a little different. They judge it by how it looks, yes, but sometimes how it looks will completely negate how it makes them feel when they smell it, or what, memory it transports them back to when they smell it, or just the good feeling that they get, or they love the scent. Sometimes the look, they'll be like, I don't care how it looks, I can take off the label, I can turn it around so I don't have to look at it. This smells amazing. And so something like candles, right? You need to focus more on the actual quality of the product and the quality of the materials that you're using, instead of focusing so much on all of the branding. I think that branding comes after that, because you can spend so much money on branding and then you realize that's not what I want to do anymore. And if you would have told me that when I first started, my name was Genesis Star Studio, and then it moved to Genesis Apparel. Now it's Lucky Star Collective. It is completely different. I took my name out of it. There's a lot of reasons for that, but I took my name out of it. It's not so much of a mouthful anymore. You can just call it Lucky Star or LSC or whatever, right? So it's so much more, and that took me over a year to figure out that my brand, my real brand and what I wanted to go with. Because at first it was like, well, I just want to go with my name, like, and I want to make, I want to have like a studio because that's so cool, and I love stars, so Genesis Star Studio. And then it was, oh, I want to do apparel, so Genesis Apparel Studios, or whatever. And then you transition, so you need something, a name that's going to transition with you. It can grow with you. The name can grow with you. Like Lucky Star Collective, that could be anything. That could be construction. That could be, because they're actually in the place of Indiana, there is an LLC called Lucky Star, which I find funny. And it is a construction business. So anyways, but it could be construction, it could be making water bottles, it could be selling plants, it could be a nonprofit group where you bring people together and host events. It could be anything. What you make it is what Lucky Star is. Lucky Star is handmade, eco as friendly possible products. That is what Lucky Star is. And people will come to know that, and come to know that when you purchase products from my brand, that you will feel like the lucky star that you are, and you can express the lucky star inside of you. And these products, either ignite that or help you feel more like yourself, like they do for me. So that's it. You build all of that as you're going through the business. Like sometimes the name that you start with is the name that you end with. But for me, that was definitely not the case. And my message and my mission has, always been to express myself and to help other people express themselves. I just didn't know how to package that in a way that I could get behind, and that I feel like other people could get behind too. So anyways, it's really important to track your supplies, because you don't want to just be buying a bunch of frivolous things that you're going to end up, like me, throwing out because you changed your brand 3 different times. Just saying. Okay, now on to pouring the candles. I've labeled all of them, and now I'm going to wick them all up, and we're going to pour them in. I think I'm going to do it a little differently than I normally would, because it is such a small amount of fragrance oil. This is like a little dropper. It's actually from an old, Ordinary bottle for skincare, because I love the Ordinary. I use the products all the time, so I try to reuse all of that kind of stuff. But this is an eyedropper, and I'll measure how much I need from each bottle. I'll show you that process, but then I'll just drop it into the actual the actual jar itself, and then pour the wax over top of that, see if that works, because it is such a small amount. Okay, so this is the setup. It's all spread out right now. And I'm going to be pouring these ones first. The candles are still cooling, and so I'm making lunch right now. But look at this fucking spinach leaf. Look at this. This is huge, okay? This is like a regular, big spinach leaf, right? This is what I just pulled out of there. What? I'm currently boiling some pasta, so ignore that in the background. But this is at the correct temperature, so I'm gonna move it. I'm gonna pour. All right. I don't have any more wax. I have some actually in here. Let's see if it'll still. Ooh, it will still come out. Slay. Gotta stir all the ones that I can really quick. What being a business owner is. It's multitasking. See how it's smoking? It's just because there's so little amount of wax in there. It's like, I don't want to give people burnt wax. Okay, so I mixed all of them except this one. So, looks like it's pretty much done for the wax over here. I'm just gonna open up the spout so that no wax dries inside of there. And then just pour what I got out. It's like, is it even worth it? I'm just gonna pour it into here. So that was golden moon milk. Like, I don't have any more wax. And like, I can't, you know what I mean? Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Cause like, it'll solidify now with that little bit down there. Right. See, sometimes I don't think things through and just do it, and that's not what I should do. Now, I'll have to do this this harvest moon. I'll have to do that over again because now it's gonna solidify all of that fragrance oil at the bottom. So I'll have to re-pour fragrance oil in there and then pour some more wax. But I can't just do that amount of wax because it is so small of an amount that it would just burn inside of my wax melter, which is unfortunate. So I do have to leave that one like that for now. I don't know why I poured the wax in there, but at the same time, it's okay. It's fine. So we're gonna let all of these sit and I'm gonna eat my pasta. So all of my candles have solidified, but they have an issue with them, okay? So when you look at them, you can see that there is actually like a slight bit of oil at the bottom, but they smell. So I think that it's just when I poured the oil in, it's like a really small bit actually just like still coating the bottom. I think that's what it is. So I'm gonna smell all these and give a rating to them. This first one is Magnolia and Peony. It smells a little too powdery for me, like old women's perfume. And I say old women's perfume because it's like when like a floral powdery perfume sits for a really long time and then you know, shake it up a little bit, use it, whatever. That's what it smells like. Like, I don't like this smell. I am not a powder person whatsoever. So I don't like that smell. So that is like the Magnolia and Peony. I'm just going to say yes or no if I would actually purchase it. And that is a no. Next, the Toasted Pumpkin Spice. This smells exactly the same as it did in the bottle. Like, this smells exactly the same, and this is crack. So yes. Next is Honeysuckle Jasmine. I smell that powdery note with this one too. I think that this would have to be blended with something in order for me to buy it. Because it on its own is like, it's like too pollen-y for me. Like, it smells like straight up pollen. If this was blended with like a citrus scent, I think I'd like it a lot more. So Honeysuckle Jasmine by itself, no. Next is Black Sea. I hope that this smells good. I just hope that this smells good. So I was looking for something that was oceanic, that had a lot of sea salt in it. This does not have a lot of sea salt. Just know that all the stuff that I've smelled, it does not. I want it to smell like straight up salt. Like, I just want it to smell like salt. I don't know why, but I do. And I haven't been able to find a candle like that. This doesn't smell bad at all. It's lighter than what I expected, but at the same time, I have to think about, okay, mixing of the oils and stuff. The other ones have done fine, but this is a little lighter than I expected. It smells more earthy than it does sea-like to me. Would I buy this? Maybe as a gift. As a gift for a male, like somebody who presents masculine and likes masculine scents, or just, again, like somebody who just likes masculine scents or deeper scents. I would purchase this as a gift. It's spun cotton. When I smelled this straight out of the bottle, it smelled like straight up, like really, it smelled like a lot of sage, Palo Santo. It smelled like straight up, like incense, but like every incense, like intense incense scent that you can think of combined. It didn't smell like cotton at all. Ugh. It didn't smell like cotton at all. So, yeah, ew, no. 0. No, I would not buy this. Let me just breathe in, because that actually did kind of give me a headache. Because when I don't like a scent, I like to breathe it in a lot. Just see if I actually don't like it. Okay, next one is Golden Moon Milk. I didn't like this one out of the bottle either. That's so interesting. I like this a lot better in a candle. Let me smell it straight out of the bottle. Sorry. Ew. No. It's like, out of the bottle, it has like, there's like sickly sweet scent almost. And like something like almost fake behind it, right? This in wax smells 100 times better. Oh, this smells really good in wax. This is why you need to test this stuff in wax. Because some of these, I'm like, yeah, I knew I was going to like that. Other than that, like, I love how Magnolia and Peony smells in the bottle. Right. Smells wonderful. Yeah, I love how it smells. Would not have gotten a powder note at all. Put it in wax, powder. But this smells pretty good. It smells super good. A lot better than it does out of the bottle, in my personal opinion. So, would I buy this? Yes, I would. Next one is Sea Salt and Orchid. Now, Honeysuckle and Jasmine and Sea Salt and Orchid, I got 1 because they're extremely popular, and 2 for Sea Salt and Orchid, sea salt. In the bottle, ew. 2, I think it was too sweet for me, but we'll smell this. Ew, no. That doesn't smell good at all. It's too sweet. Like, it's... Okay, at my college, there's like a whole orchid, like, greenhouse. All they have in the greenhouse is orchids, okay? This does not smell like orchid. This smells like some fake candy type shit. This is nasty. I don't like that. And then last one is Sel de Mer, which is another, like, oceany, supposed to be scent. Again, out of the bottle, I didn't like it. I think it was way too strong, but... I'm smelling some type of spice in it. I smell peppercorn, but it's like, it's weird. It almost smells like laundry detergent plus peppercorn. But like the peppercorn's really light and so is the laundry detergent. But I'm getting them both at the same time and at the same like level. Like if they're both at like if one's at a 2, the other one's at a 2. No. As a gift, possibly. This would be a good gift candle. Sel de Mer. Thanks for watching this video. I know it was a little everywhere, but this is how my week was going last week. And now it's going to be a lot more just straight up sewing because that's all that I have left to do. I did end up spelling the Harvest Moon at the very end, but my video got cut off. It was the one where I poured like the littlest amount of wax inside of it. If you've ever smelled a wassail candle or something that has a lot of cardamom and cinnamon and then like notes of like red wine or something like that, like a wassail, or you've ever drank mulled wine, Harvest Moon smelled exactly like that. Candle Science also has a scent called wassail, and I didn't compare them, but just based off of like memory of them, they kind of smell a little similar, with Harvest Moon being a little stronger in my opinion than the wassail. So thanks for watching this video. I hope to see you guys in the next one.